A single Malayan soldier, Sergeant Adnan Saidi, fought an entire Japanese army with just 42 men. What if I told you the last stand of this 27-year-old hero was so brutal, so incredibly defiant, that it still sends shivers down the spine of anyone who hears it? This isn't a movie script. This is the Battle of Pasir Panjang, a bloody four-day clash in February 1942 that changed everything. Imagine this. It's February 13th, 1942. The Japanese Empire is sweeping through Southeast Asia, and they've set their sights on Singapore. To get there, they have to take Bukit Chandu, or Opium Hill, a key defensive position held by Sergeant Adnan and his platoon number 7 of the 1st Malay Regiment. But the Japanese were smart. They didn't just attack. They wore British Indian Army uniforms, a cunning trick to sneak past the guards. But Adnan, with his eagle-eyed focus, spotted them. Their marching style was off. It wasn't the way British soldiers marched. He knew instantly it was a trap. What happened next was a chaotic, desperate struggle for survival. Adnan's men fought like lions, repelling wave after wave of attacks. The Japanese, furious at their failed ruse, launched a full-scale assault. The air filled with the sounds of machine guns and grenades. But Adnan, a seasoned veteran who had excelled in all his training, was everywhere, a blur of motion, yelling orders and inspiring his men. He refused to retreat. His battle cry, Biar, Tulang, jangan, which means it's better to die than to live in shame, became the mantra of the entire platoon. But how could 42 men possibly hold out against thousands? They couldn't. By the final day, February 14th, they were out of ammunition. The Japanese were closing in, and the battle turned from a firefight into a brutal hand-to-hand fight. Adnan, wounded multiple times, fought with a ferocity that stunned even his enemies. He was eventually captured. What did the Japanese do to this courageous man who had caused them so much grief? They tied him to a cherry tree, bayoneted him repeatedly, and then decapitated him. This wasn't just murder. It was an act of pure rage and a warning to others. But what they didn't know was that his sacrifice had already inspired a legend. The Japanese victory at Pasir Panjang was complete, but they had won a hollow victory. The image of Sergeant Adnan, defiant to the very end, has become a permanent symbol of courage and resistance for Malaysians and Singaporeans. His story isn't just about a battle. It's a gut-wrenching lesson in honor, sacrifice, and what it truly means to fight for what you believe in, even when the odds are stacked against you. His last stand proved that a man's spirit can be more powerful than an entire army.